Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you again so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Jumping into our afternoon analysis a little early, kind of seeing what's going on. Didn't want to wait for the daily candle to close because I got so many requests to go ahead and cover this again. Just to kind of give us some ideas of where things are going to go and or where they've been. We saw 30 billion liquidation just occur not a couple of hours ago, and then prior to that there was about 50 billion in the 62,000 range. So today is probably swept somewhere in the range of 50, 60, maybe even 70 billion dollars in liquidation, all because of the Iran/Israel war. So you guys have to understand, guys and gals, this is a fundamental catalyst that there's really no telling where it's going to go. So while I want to be able to pay attention to support levels, which is also very important to recognize, outside of that, there's truthfully not a lot of understanding of where the price is going to stop. Okay, so at this point, I mean, it seems logical that 60,000 would be that support range, considering it's a nice round number. We've got previous highs in the 61 to 60K range, so there's a solid chance 59.5 to 61,000 will be that little support level, or we maybe range here for a little while. But there's no real telling where it's going to go based on the fact that this is just strictly a fundamental catalyst. Okay, so just need you to understand that kind of going into this, more so than the simple fact that it can be very difficult to gauge in situations like these. And more important, it's relevant to understand that you don't want to get too crazy with trading at this exact time, because things are just kind of ripsaw up and down. More so down, obviously. You'll have more luck shorting coins right now. But the truth is, a lot of altcoins are kind of starting to find their bottom. And I would say pending Bitcoin doesn't drop 60,000, we should be in pretty good shape with a lot of alts, okay? Again, Bitcoin dominance holding kind of like a champ here. We saw this really nasty candle wick up to like 58% and back down. But generally speaking, this is par for the course when, missiles are being shot from one country to another across the globe, right? So anyways, I hope thoughts and prayers for those people in that situation. It's really a terrible, terrible situation. My heart goes out to you, but I'm also sorry for those who are seeing some losses too, of course, just based on the simple fact that this shouldn't have happened. 63,000 should have held very strong. It would have, pending no fundamental catalyst occurred. That's just my personal opinion. Again, just based on the way things have been working out. We had a lot of support at 63K. It took a lot to get it down to 61/60.5. That tells you how much selling pressure there was to be able to get through those key levels. So here's all that sweepage that you can see here, all the way from 63,000. Every one of these bars, by the way, is between $1 to $2 billion. Okay, so pretty significant amount of liquidation all the way down. These are just the more recent more recent longs rather. The more longer term ones got hit really hard. Again, these are like 5 to 7 billion for every one of these lines you see here. So the truth is there's not a lot of liquidation left. And if we do take a look at our previous analysis, this is I sent this earlier today. This, we were hitting 62K, supposed to hold that level, got aggressive all the way down to that gap there where we have no liquidation left. So 60.5 is that area of just like nobody knows what's going on here at this price point, because we don't spend a lot of time at this range. Okay. Anyways, that's a conversation for another day, but just simply put, that's kind of what's going on to kind of brush you up to speed in case you're kind of curious, like what the hell's happening right now. These are things that are unfortunately out of everyone's control. What you can control is not being a crazy aggro trader and just FOMOing in and out of the market all over the place, right? We do take a look at this local range ever since we went as low as about 50K as a rough estimate, upwards of 70K. The local range here, we can see the most amount of control at that low 59K range. So heaven forbid we lose 60K, 59,000 should hold as a support. And I do the bunny ears here in this case because you never truly know. Like 63K had so much confluence that there was no reason for us to have lost it. Obviously, fundamental catalyst, life-altering events have a tendency of doing those things. So just know that has everything to do with this here. And if things kind of calm down and those things kind of just chill out for a little while and the price continues to digress, I'm speculating that that point of control here, the local point of control, is pretty solid area of support. That's at 0.5 fib level 2, 0.618 just below it. Roughly 58 to 59.5 would be that support zone. Anyways, just kind of throwing it out there for future reference. We've so far, and will likely close below this level here at 50 on the RSI, so good job, market makers. You pushed the price action to a bearish type of sentiment here. So now we're officially on the bearish side of things for the most part. Don't get me wrong, that's not like the only thing that just kind of, everything has to go down from now, but we do got to kind of shift our mindset to the fact that we're no longer just like bullishly uptrending. those things will change. That will continue to adjust as we see the next couple of days progress. But the truth is, we can't presume we're going to just go up from now. We are maintaining above the 50 SMA, which is extremely important. That's kind of just like the average sentiment there. Again, based on the last 50 days, we're above that. So that's a very good sign, really. It kind of helps us understand that people feel like this $60,000 range is still a good value, okay? So again, kind of a mentality thing there. But MACD is definitely diverging. Our trend strength index is coming down. There's a lot of reasons why holding a long position right now may not be the most appropriate, or more so considering a long position. I do still think we have to give this current 60 to 60.5 range a chance to hold. But again, we got Asian markets coming up here soon. We never know. However, on the bright side, and doesn't happen very often, RSI is getting closer to 20. This is a very, very aggressive, manipulative push down. In regular markets, traditional markets, unless a fundamental catalyst exists, you rarely see anything below 30 or above 70. So this leads me to believe that this is an extenuating circumstance now that we're below this here. Well, you don't necessarily want to close your short position. You definitely don't take it long. However, we commonly see pivots when the price action hits these extreme points. So I would say that loosely we should see a slight recovery here, pending, again, there's no more crazy nonsense in the world, right? You never can truly control that. So the truth is, our trend strength indicator is bottoming out. MACD is still diverging, stochastic swinging down. There's a lot of reasons why this is not an ideal situation. And there's a good chance, the price will be back like 62, 63,000 in a couple of days, and everyone's going to wish they took a long right now. I'm okay with not taking a long at this exact moment because these are not contributing factors that you really want to trade into, okay? The likelihood of the price going down is much higher, so you might want to consider a short versus a long. Now, however, at this point, I don't like to take shorts when we have 3 massive, aggressive, high volume candles. I really think that we're going to start seeing some support here soon. At least that's how it should work. Again, when things get kind of funky in the world, it changes the dynamic of what's supposed to happen in trading. So all the more reason to just kind of steer clear, keep your distance. If you got to trade open, whatever, use your good risk tolerance there and make sure it works within your risk tolerance. But personally, at this point, there's no reason to take a long or a short trade right now for Bitcoin. Now, altcoins may be a different story. We can look at like how well they are coupled together and just how they're essentially aligned or disaligned, and that would be potentially a factor, but really not worth it. At this point, there's every single consideration for the price to continue lower, and there's no reason to take it long. We are starting to see some overextensions, of course. We hit a 9 on TD sequential 4 hours ago, and we're still pushing down. So the truth is, we should be bottoming out soon. We should have done that a while ago, honestly. But again, market makers, they're very aggressive, and this this fear, uncertainty, and doubt tends to seep in, and it gets people to make a lot of fast decisions to sell when really there's probably no reason for it. Either way, I don't know if you can tell like the frustration in my voice here, but it is annoying when this stuff happens. And unfortunately, it's just kind of the way that the crypto world works. I mean, traditional markets are getting impacted too, don't get me wrong. This is just that natural knee-jerk reaction, but it's just ridiculous when all these things happen because you can have the best analysis in the world and just all goes to hell. So again, that's just kind of how it goes, and that's why proper risk tolerance and utilizing small position size and low leverage is probably the best and most ideal thing you could ever do for yourself. I know there's some folks that took like a long with Doge at the top here, and they're like they'd used a big position, and my heart goes out to them because they really kind of screwed up in that sense. They'd recently joined my community, told them, hey, it's best to limit your risk here. You should never use more than 5% per trade, at least of your total portfolio. So if you're rolling your eyes at hearing that, you're probably in the wrong place. It's okay if what I have to offer isn't good for you. But again, I just like to teach proper risk management, and that those things are important. That's why I'm not stressed about this digression here. I mean, I closed a couple of long trades in the red with no problem. I closed them early before they hit stop loss just because it felt funky. And instead of, hindsight 2020, I could have opened a bunch of shorts and probably been in profit right now. I didn't bother because these kind of things you never truly know, and it's probably best in most cases just to kind of not touch it with a 10-foot pole, if you've heard that term before, and just leave it alone until it finds its bottom. So me personally, when I see this, I just kind of chill and relax and wait for it to figure itself out. I miss tons of opportunity, but I don't care, and that's okay. All right, that's what's works well for me. All right, I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I go on tangents sometimes, but a lot of it's just, in your best interest, because I do deal with a lot of unique situations with people coming over to our community trying to recover their accounts, but they just have terrible risk management. So anyways, a little bit every day hopefully will get you keep the liquidation away, right? All right, folks, thanks again for your time. I'll just send an updated playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.